Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. First down. Hale. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. Here's Perkins on first down. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Hale. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the gun, Hale. And he's going to go down again. Kenny Clark. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
He checks it down here to Ellington. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To throw on second down. Hale. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 84 yards. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. He had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
He'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. It may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. These say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
this defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
10 yards still left on second down. They'll set up to throw. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle.
Come on, let's go.
On the give, it's Perkins. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Hale. And he fires one, but incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking to throw. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll look to throw again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go.
Now back to throw. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Come on, let's go. Red 38.
To throw again. Hale. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Come on, let's go.
From the gun, Hale. Wide open receiver complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Looking to throw on second down. Hale. Room here to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They go counter. Perkins. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Back to throw. Hale. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here we go.
On third down, Hale. And some room to roam that. And now a fumble. The ball's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Out of the gun now on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Back to the air on second down. Hale. Man open left side is Brown. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, what a move. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Again, they run with Ellington. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Ellington. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On 1st and 10, Hale. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
To throw on 2nd down. Hale. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Hale. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's Allington. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
It's hauled in by Allington. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll drop the throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And bulldozing his way through. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Saints trail at home at halftime. The Bears have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Bears with the ball midway through 1. Tight coverage here, but the completion is made. And he'll take this all the way for a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. Midway through the second quarter, the connection is made in the middle of the field. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to their own 43-yard line. Bears will later lose possession on a forced fumble. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to New Orleans for the start of the second half.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter.
If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hale. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A good pickup there. 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz. Were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz. Got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And now a first down following that long gain. Off play action. Hale. Over the middle here to Brown. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a second down. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. Off the play fake. Hale. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So a collective holding of breath here as the starter heads for the sideline. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. A handoff to Perkins. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height
setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
This is Ellington. He's to the 10 and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Ellington. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. That's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit him, Brandon.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Let's go! 38!
To throw on second down, Hale. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Fresh set of downs here. Looking to throw. Hale. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Second down, Perkins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll make it third down. Back to throw. Hale. He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Field comes New Orleans. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Saints on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be third and forever.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, Hale. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. The Bears on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go. 1, 9.
Operating from the gun, Hale. He's got it complete to Perkins. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. That one complete to Yeldon. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
He'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Down 2 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Red zone opportunity. First and goal, Perkins. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, Hale. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And his kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll get
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's 2nd down. Back to throw here. He checks it down here to Ellington. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll set up to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because they have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Looking to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll give him 8 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Now back to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Snags it for the pick.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? Touchdowns.
And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Again, they go to Perkins. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Hale. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Out of the pistol, Perkins. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bears, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.